Before we dive into this mind-bending journey, make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss more incredible what if stories that bend the rules of reality. What if the sun became the size of Earth? First, nobody noticed. Satellites caught strange fluctuations in solar activity, but most scientists dismissed them as harmless anomalies. Then, one morning, billions of people across the globe looked up and gasped. The sun was no longer the massive, blazing furnace they had always known. Instead, it was now a faint, glowing sphere no bigger than Earth itself. It still shone, but weakly, like a candle struggling against the wind. The first days. In the first 24 hours, humanity fell into shock. The news channels screamed with headlines. Sun shrinks overnight, experts stunned. People poured into the streets, staring at the sky, whispering prayers, or shouting in panic. At noon, the light felt more like an early sunset. Temperatures began to dip. Farmers in equatorial regions reported sudden frosts that killed crops. Energy demand surged as nations scrambled to generate heat. Astronomers delivered the most terrifying news of all. Without the sun's colossal mass, its gravitational grip was gone. The planets no longer followed neat orbits. Earth would drift into the void, away from the dying ember that once gave it life. The first weeks, the oceans responded quickly. Waves slowed, winds grew weaker, storms lost their strength. The planet's climate system, driven by solar energy, collapsed like a broken machine. Food became scarce. Governments declared martial law to control resources. Entire cities huddled under artificial domes powered by nuclear and geothermal plants. The poor froze outside the walls, gathering around makeshift fires in abandoned neighborhoods. But not all was despair. For the first time in history, the sky revealed its true face. Even at midday, billions of stars glittered above, clearer than ever before. Children pointed at the Milky Way stretching like a river across the heavens, while elders whispered ancient myths reborn. Humanity, staring into the cosmos, felt both smaller and more connected than ever. The first months, drifting away from the sun, Earth grew colder. Polar ice spread rapidly, swallowing coastlines. Crops vanished entirely. Oceans began to freeze over from the surface down. Cities that once basked in tropical heat now shivered beneath endless snow. Desperate, nations launched colossal engineering projects. Some tried to build space arcs, massive generation ships designed to carry thousands toward other stars. Others dug deep into the crust, creating vast subterranean networks warmed by the planet's core. A new society began to emerge, the underground and the starfarers. The underground built cities lit by artificial suns, powered by nuclear fusion reactors. They believed Earth could survive as a drifting world, sustained by technology and hope. The starfarers, however, saw Earth as doomed. They poured all resources into building ships, even if only a fraction of humanity could escape. For them, survival meant leaving the cradle forever. The psychological shift, but perhaps the most profound change, was spiritual. The sun had always been humanity's eternal constant, the giver of warmth, the center of myths, the eye of gods. Now reduced to a glowing ember, it reminded people that nothing, not even stars, lasts forever. Philosophers spoke of a new age of humility. Artists painted cosmic landscapes where humans were no longer the chosen children of a grand star, but wanderers in an endless night. And yet, within this despair burned a spark. Humans discovered a resilience they never knew they had. Neighbors who once quarreled over land and politics now shared food and warmth. Scientists from rival nations worked side by side on survival projects. For the first time, the Earth felt united not by wealth, not by conquest, but by necessity. The final question: would humanity survive? Perhaps. The underground might endure for centuries, building a new civilization beneath the frozen crust. The starfarers might scatter into the galaxy, carrying with them memories of the blue world they once called home. And maybe, just maybe, shrinking the sun wasn't the end of humanity's story, but the beginning of a far greater one. Because when the sky grew darker, humanity discovered that the true light had never come from the sun. It had always burned inside of them. If this what-if tale captured your imagination, don't forget to subscribe, because there are infinite universes left to explore, and together, we can journey through them all.